What is up, everybody? As I close out my NBC Sports app, it's De'Aaron Fox talks with our guy Kyle Draper in the post game after the Sacramento Kings take down the Dallas Mavericks by a score of 120 to 115. Oh boy, it was not supposed to be that close. This game was pretty much a 20-point blowout for a majority of the game. The Kings did a great job defensively for a lot of tonight. Really, the first three quarters, three and a half quarters, maybe, if you will. The Kings were on it. I thought, at times it looked like their best defensive performance of the year, which is spectacular because a lot of the time this season it's felt like the Kings have not been able to fully take advantage of teams when they're on the second night of a back to back, as Dallas was coming off of playing in Atlanta yesterday, where Luka Doncic, everybody knows now, scored 73 points. But what I am learning after watching tonight's game is that the Dallas Mavericks just play absolutely no defense whatsoever. I mean, it was easy for the Kings all night long. They were getting whatever baskets they wanted. They were getting mismatches easy and taking advantage of them. De'Aaron Fox was incredible tonight. Nothing really new there. Harrison Barnes continued and you could say completed his revenge tour as he took down his former team in Dallas tonight. Had a really good game. Hit the game ceiling free throws, I guess you can say, down the stretch there. He finished with 20 points tonight. Keegan Murray, I thought, was incredible on the defensive end tonight. A lot of talk about Keegan and how well he played in Golden State against Steph Curry, and tonight he draws a completely different matchup in Luka Doncic, and I thought he owned it. He completely owned that matchup. Luka had to work for everything tonight. Again, he scored 73 points last night. You knew he was going to be a little bit fatigued, and for Keegan to just make him work incredibly hard on offense. And also shout out Mike Brown, who I thought did a great job of telling his team to really attack Luka early on the defensive end of things. To really, those are kind of like body blows. In a boxing match, you kind of want to take his breath out early so that he doesn't have some wind in the later rounds. And I felt like the Kings did a really good job of just kind of delivering those body blows to Luka early, making him work for every single shot he took. He was 9 of 26 tonight, which he'll definitely take. If he's going to score 28 points on 26 attempts, that's incredible, especially for Luka, who can get offense so easily. And without Kyrie, he's going to have the ball in his hands literally every single play. So I thought the Kings did a great job of just making him work. And you could see how, it could have gone bad if the Kings just kind of let Luka continue to be in his rhythm that he was clearly in. Grant Williams, I thought, had a really strong performance for Dallas tonight. I've been a little up and down. I've watched a good handful of Dallas games this year, and Grant has had a pretty tough time fitting in there. But tonight is really the shining example offensively, I think, of what they want him to be. He kind of plays like a Trey Lyles role, ideally, for them. But ideally, he's supposed to be a lot more switchable and versatile on the defensive end. But I really only saw some good offense out of Grant tonight because defensively, again, they're just terrible. They have nobody that you trust in a one-on-one situation. Even if they have Kyrie out there, he's no great defender. But to have Jaden Hardy out there, if he's not hitting shots like he wasn't tonight, he was 1 of 7. He's useless. Jalen Green is probably their best defender in their starting lineup. Obviously, Luka's terrible defensively. Grant Williams is okay. He's a good team defender, and Lively is really just kind of meant to be their goalie. I liked what I saw out of Lively tonight. Really strangely enough, at least during the beginning of the year, when I was watching a couple Dallas games, Lively didn't really stick out that much. He was just really raw. And tonight, you just kind of see he does not look like a rookie. He doesn't play like a rookie at all. Really confident in his body, and I think playing with Luka is great for him. But Dallas definitely made this one into a game with their effort down the stretch, and it really shouldn't have been. I'm starting to get concerned that maybe this Kings team might have an issue closing out games, especially in the last 5 minutes. Maybe it's a little bit overreacting to that Phoenix loss a couple weeks back, but it's just kind of felt like the Kings have really struggled to close out these games, and I think That's obviously a really big concern if you don't ever feel like any lead is safe. And I think again, I thought this looked at times through the first three quarters like this could have been one of the best defensive efforts of the season, and they just kind of let go a little bit on that end. And I think it's again great to have a learning lesson in a win, but how many times this year does this team kind of need to go through stressful finishes to understand, hey, can't take your foot off the gas even for a second, especially not when Luka's out there. So really liked what we saw tonight on the defensive end for the most part for a majority of this game, but definitely towards the end that was terrible. And there was don't get it twisted, like there was definitely a chance. I think everyone's aware that this game could have gone bad, and mainly because let's talk about it, y'all. Free throws. I saw Sam Amick put out a tweet saying that the Sacramento Kings shouldn't call them free throws because they're apparently incredibly expensive for this team. There is nothing free about them. We've been talking about it all year. They are statistically the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA. We saw them lose a game a couple weeks back in Milwaukee because they missed free throws down the stretch. We saw they barely survived in their last game against the Golden State Warriors when Kevin Huerter missed 2 free throws down the stretch. And what did you see tonight? You saw in a situation in which the Kings were up 5, 118-113, if I'm not mistaken. They get an inbounds pass. They give the ball to Kevin Huerter. And then I believe the ball went to Harrison Barnes. And I frankly would have liked Harrison to step up and take those free throws. But instead, no. I mean, it makes sense statistically. They get the ball to Malik Monk, who is and has been their best free throw shooter since he arrived. He was a 90% free throw shooter last year. I think Katie said that he's in a stretch right now where he's been shooting 70% from the line, which is just crazy uncharacteristic for Malik. But they trusted him. They trusted him down the stretch to hit those 2 free throws, and he bricked them both. Just like Kevin Huerter did. As a matter of fact, just like Malik did in that Milwaukee game. So I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what to do about the fact that obviously just in total, this team's a pretty bad free throw shooting team, or I should say at least the 2 main guys who go to the free throw line, and Fox and Sabonis, are really bad free throw shooters. So you're not going to go to them to close a game. Now you have to wonder, maybe you hope that Malik has missed enough now to where it's seeped in and he's never ever going to do it again. But you gotta wonder if it's in his mental. Kevin Huerter, we just saw him miss 2 free throws. I think it's Harrison Barnes. I really think that if this team were to be in a we need 2 free throws situation, Harrison Barnes, the guy that they're probably going to want at the line. You saw him knock down those 2 at the end there. That's really just something that no one else has done. So I kind of think it's HB's turn to be the default technical foul guy, and I think he took 2 techs today. So seriously, it might be on Harrison now, but it's concerning because if I'm a team and if I'm an opposing team and we're playing the Sacramento Kings and the game is close at all, I'm fouling. I am fouling. I am hacking. I don't care. I'm not letting y'all get a good shot, especially with how good and efficient your offense is. Heck no. I'm not. There is no way I'm letting the Kings get a free shot with how terrible they are on defense. There's absolutely no way, because it's just it's the smart play. It might not be the exciting play, but you're trying to win basketball games, and especially again in the playoffs. I'm going to continue to harp on the fact that their missed free throws at some point is going to cost them a really, really big game. And it wouldn't surprise me if in the playoffs this thing comes down to teams kind of taking it possession by possession. And if you're doing a points per possession thing, if you feel like the Kings will average 1 point per possession if you foul them the last 5 minutes down the stretch, that's just good coaching. That's good scouting, and they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out by the time the playoffs come around, because I'm telling you, people are going to employ it, and unless unless you can show some teams that, hey, that might not be the best strategy, we do have some guys who can knock it down. I just think that it's what's in this team's future. I do see that LA and Golden State right now are heading to is it double overtime at this point now? I saw the shot that Steph took to send him into the first overtime. Was a sick move. It looks like I'm looking now at the game score, and it's 142-141. Golden State is down at Chase Center, so gonna definitely keep tabs on that. And let's move on to our bookmarked section of today's game. Look at some plays from this game tonight and just kind of talk it through here. And absolutely light the beam. Glad that beam is lit. Here we go. So we're going to start off here talking a little HB, little H Bizzle. A career night, literally a career night in at Chase Center the other day in San Francisco. HB picking up, absolutely. I mean, it was, it was definitely the thing that I was looking for tonight. I do wonder if at this point it is in the HB's mind to think, I am playing a streak of former teams here. It would be nice to kind of show out a bit because I don't know. I still do not know if this stretch of play has made it more or less likely for HB to stay. I still kind of feel like this is overall good for his trade value, so it wouldn't surprise me if he moves on, but it's a cool moment at the very least. It's a really cool moment, a redemption moment for sure for HB. I'm sure to feel like, hey man, he's guaranteed to have heard some of the talk about how disappointed I think people are with how he's played this season and just kind of overall how his Kings career has gone. And maybe you can argue his career in total, but just a really cool moment that we're seeing right here from HB to be playing the way he is. And De'Aaron looks 100%. I think that we're over with I don't know, De'Aaron, is he banged up? Obviously all the media stuff that was going on the other day. I think that all of that has been pushed aside. I think it was nothing more than just middle of the season dog days. He was tired from the amount of weight on his shoulders from early in the season when he was averaging 30 points a game. It feels like he's back. When you see moments like this big dunk, you see the overall energy level feels like it's been elevated. And you also saw the little 360 dunk that he tried to do at the end of the Warrior game. I think he's healthy. I think he's 100% healthy. And speaking of healthy, this is just good for the soul. This is healthy for the soul. You saw Keegan do this against Steph Curry the other day down the stretch. Literally the same exact kind of block where he's coming from the backside and just swatting it out of bounds. And I believe this is only the first of two blocks that he got on Luka in this nice little stretch here. He gets it blocked out of bounds. They get the inbounds pass, give it to Luka, and Keegan just swats it right back again. He was great, man. He has been so good defensively, and it's huge. I mean, and that's why, I still think the Kings need to go out there and get another defensive-minded forward. I think if you compare Keegan with another forward as well, it's going to be a problem. I mean, the Kings are just going to actually be able to lock people down and get stops, because to me, that's the thing that this team still struggles with is when they have to get a stop, even though they have been really good these last two games at getting clutch and necessary stops. I just don't know if they can do it for a 5-minute stretch in the playoffs against some of the best scorers in the world. So we'll see. We'll see how the trade deadline goes. We still have some time until all that stuff goes down, but just something to keep tabs on. And this is I think the shot of the night. De'Aaron here is completely locked down. This is great defense from Josh Green. He completely seals De'Aaron from going on the inside here, and because De'Aaron looks to me like he wants to spin towards the rim there, and Josh Green does a great job of cutting him off, and De'Aaron just hits this really, really tough fadeaway going towards his towards his right, I guess. Towards his left. Man, hold on. I feel like I'm all backed up. Well, anyways, regardless. You see him hit this tough turnaround. There's a hand right in his face. He's falling away. Just the amount of distance that he covers on the fade is insane. And for him to, if he's hitting those kind of shots, those are elite level shots. And yeah, Jason Anderson pointing out here, Keegan Murray blocking shots, taking charges. Excellent defense on Luka, who was 4 of 12 at that point. And again, I mentioned. What did he finish? He finished 9 of 26 from the field. So Luka was just feeling Keegan's presence all night long. And Keegan, if he can do both sides, if he can truly be a two-way player, it's incredible. I mean, it could really raise the ceiling for this team. And again, if they can get another guy who can kind of play next to Keegan and do just kind of a version of this, or maybe take some of the defensive load off so Keegan could go back to creating a little bit more of his own offense offensively. I think that's how this team can take just a little bit of another leap here. I think that, we're seeing them. They're back in the 5 seed after 2 straight wins and some losses from Phoenix and Dallas as well. They can definitely still rise to the top of this second tier in the West here. And here's just another really tough shot from De'Aaron for him to go glass off Jaden Hardy here. This is just ownage. This is complete, like, barbecue chicken. You can't guard me. And to go glass is it's not insulting, but it is just a, hey, brother, you didn't stand a chance. This is drill work. You're not a problem. Get out of my way. Glass. Insane. Incredible. HB steal leading to a Keegan triple. I thought HB, again, he just looks like a different guy because it's not even just the points. The points are, of course, very welcome, but the defense, and you're also seeing him rebound. He finished with 6 rebounds today, which if I had to guess is somewhere near a season high for HB. He has been really bad at grabbing boards this year, which is, again, just something Mike Brown's pointed at in the past to, hey, it's okay if you're not going to hit shots, talking about Kevin and HB. And Keegan at points, but you got to contribute somewhere else on the box score. Get some steals, get some charges, get some rebounds, obviously, and good to see HB getting a steal here, and again getting 6 rebounds on the night. Really big for him. Fox had a huge first half, sealed it with hitting that little fadeaway there. 9 blocks for the Kings in the first half. That tied their season high in total. And what did they finish with? They finished with 10 blocks. So a new season high for blocks for the Kings. And, you love to see it. You love to see the growth on the defensive end. I believe the Kings are one of the worst teams in the NBA when it comes to getting blocks. And, that's kind of a given when Domantas Sabonis is your center, not a very vertical presence. And so that's really big number for the Kings. And Keegan obviously is going to be a huge part of that. Keegan actually led the team in blocks last year. So, that's that is also a big part of his development, as well as just kind of being a weak side rim protector, or even just getting those blocks that we showed earlier, coming from, behind a defender if they're double clutching at the rim. Keegan's got to come over. So that is all that we have for Twitter today. We are going to, let's see if there's any press conference audio we got to get to. Again, listen to De'Aaron with Matt Barnes and Drapes immediately after the game on NBC. Not really much there. De'Aaron did say he was healthy. Matt asked him, just health-wise, how are you feeling, being in the middle of the season? De'Aaron, again, downplayed it, said nothing wrong at all, feeling good. Didn't say feeling great, definitely said feeling okay, which is, I'm sure just a caveat that you got to put out there. Like, you're like, I'm relatively fine. I'm not 100%, but I don't think anybody's truly 100% at this point in the season. It doesn't look like there's been any press conference things out there yet. So let's go on to our 3 stars of the night. I have my first star, as I put there, Harrison Barnes, who continued the revenge tour. 20 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, 3 straight games with 20-plus points. That is what I think before I said he had 4 total 20-point performances heading into tonight. So to have 3 in a row for HB, I'm telling you, I think it's here to stay. I don't think that this is uh, just a little blip. But if HB is going to stay on this roster, I definitely think he's going to continue to contribute. It's really the last thing. Mike Brown talked about a lot. Obviously, he was asked, why is HB still in the starting lineup? And Mike got to a point where he was like, honestly, that's the only thing I haven't tried is taking HB out of the lineup. Well, I think he thought before that, he was like, actually there is something I hadn't tried before bringing HB to the bench, and that is allowing HB to get plays ran for him, giving him a chance, giving him an opportunity. And I think we're seeing that it really was just a lack of opportunity that was leading HB to the stat lines that he was getting, the 2 and 4 point games. I will still say he could have done a little bit more and still been a little bit more aggressive looking for his shot. But you got to figure out how to get your guys involved. And Mike Brown might now just understand that the only way to get HB involved is by force feeding him and saying, no, we're running plays for you and you're going to have to be involved. And, I think just the little bit of involvement, like I think, it might take 5 or let's say 3 called plays for HB for him to kind of be like, oh, I'm in a rhythm here. Like I actually don't need to pass this ball. I feel like I can take it. Like, maybe sometimes he feels like, I normally would take this mismatch or take to try and take this guy to the hole or take this opening that I see, but I'm kind of out of rhythm. I haven't shot in a while, haven't really touched the ball in a while. I don't know if it's the best thing for me to just look for mine right now. Whereas, if he gets the ball a couple times before that chance happens, well, maybe next time when he gets it, he'll say, all right, yeah, I can do this. I'm in the flow. I mean, even if it's a decoy at first, then I'll pass it out. We'll see what happens here. And I think sometimes you got to think about the psychological side of basketball, because it really is a team sport. And HB wasn't really involved very much. He didn't have the ball in his hands, and so it's really tough to ask an individual to be a part of a collective unit if you're just kind of telling him stand over there and just kind of be ready whenever. It's a lot easier if he feels like he's a part of the machine. And I think definitely you're seeing HB being a part of the machine, and you see Kevin Huerter still hitting shots. He's not, lighting it up for 20 pieces himself, but I think it's good to see Kevin Huerter knock down shots every so often. He's still not knocking down every single thing, but what was he? He was 4 of 8 tonight from 3, which is incredible, and especially a lot better than what we saw from him to start off the season. 2 stars tonight going to Keegan Murray. This is mainly about the defense. Again, it's mainly about what he was able to do to Luka Doncic and just make it tough for him all night, and then still providing a little bit of offense. Keegan had a couple dunks today. But again, it's really just about the defense. If he can be a primary somebody to defend the other team's primary ball handler, and that person can be anywhere from a point guard like Steph Curry to a big lumbering body like Luka Doncic, that's huge. And again, I think he's kind of the guy that we've been waiting for years. I mean, Rudy Gay was a version of oh my gosh, he's a great scorer. He's really tall. He's long. Can he defend? That would make him the perfect 3. Couldn't defend. And we kind of got the later prime stages of Rudy Gay. Harrison Barnes comes in, and it's like, okay, can this guy be like a top 10 small forward in the NBA? And it just never really worked out. I think we're seeing Keegan has some tools here to really be a very unique or a special player. I'll say special in this league. The ability to have the size he has, to knock down shots the way he can. We still haven't seen his post game yet. In terms of like actually playing in the post, which he swears he's got a lot of post game. but we're seeing the defense. And if you can just knock down threes and play defense, you're going to play in this league until you don't feel like playing anymore. Somebody will always have you on your roster. And if Keegan can continue to develop with the ball in his hands, playmaking a little bit, that's when things are going to start getting crazy for number 13. And, of course, 3 stars for tonight for De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox. The offense was incredible. 34 points. Just didn't look like anybody could stop him. Incredibly confident. Just was on his A game today. Hitting some perimeter jumpers. Just really took advantage of every opportunity he saw in front of him. Was aggressive and looks really good. He looks like the De'Aaron Fox that we saw all season long, putting up over 30 points in a game. And, I think he definitely dodged some free throws at the end of the game there. I still think he's a little bit gun shy, if you will, at the free throw line, or to step up to the line. But, he without his performance today, the Kings definitely don't win. And they start their road trip 2-0, 7-game trip, road trip, longest of the season. They play again Monday in Memphis against the Ja Morantless Grizzlies. That one should be an easy one. Should be one of the easier games on the road trip. Hopefully they start 3-0 and get ready for the tougher stretch of that road trip next week. And you can check us out right here on Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube channel after every single Sacramento Kings game. I will catch you on Monday again after that Grizzlies game right here on Sactown Sports 1140. Y'all have a fantastic night. I'm going to go check out that beam real quick and